Welcome once again to the complete free Flutter course right here on YouTube, presented by yours truly, Ovidus Mazurum. Now, I am excited for this video because it is the first video of the new module, and yesterday happened to be my 30th or 31st day of recording. So this channel has been live for an entire month and we've grown to over 500 subscribers already. So thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed. We have a lot of views. Thank you for everybody who has viewed my videos, and I hope that we can continue learning together. But on to the new module. So module 4 is going to be all about state, and we're going to explore everything about it. We're going to start with stateful versus stateless widgets. Then we're going to look at a lot of different solutions for state, because the way Flutter by default deals with states, with the stateful widgets, it's good, it's perfectly fine, but there is some room for improvements, which we do with things like change notifier, with block, both the old school and the Flutter block package, and there are some fairly new ones as well, like getX, which we'll explore. And we're going to do this by making a timer. The timer is kind of like a tradition for everybody studying state. The two main apps everybody makes is a to-do app and a timer app. And what we're going to do in that timer that's I think is going to be quite cool, quite interesting, is we're going to have a stopwatch on one page and a timer, in other words, going down on the other page. So as a result, the two different pages, we can use different state management solutions. But at the same time, they're quite similar, right? Because they're doing similar things. So you can really contrast them, and I think it's going to be great. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. But before that, I do want to jump into a different quick topic, and what we're going to do for that. So we created a new project, and I named this project Flutter Timer. And as you can see right now, it's just the default project here. As always, I'm going to Control A, delete everything, impm to get my imports, then void main, arrow function, run app, my app, which does not yet exist. Then down here, STL for stateless widgets, and I'll call this my app. And as always, I'm going to start with a material app over here. Then I'm going to give it a home, and for now, I'm going to create a home here, but I will change this in the future. I'm going to call this example home, because I'm not going to be using this in the future. You'll see why in a second. Because I do want our timer to start looking more like a real app. And we're not quite to the stage where we're doing everything perfectly yet, but I am trying to inject a bit more of the clean code or the different best practices and stuff like that, piece by piece. And today we're going to start with themes. Now that I have my example home, I'm going to change this container into a center widget, and I'm going to give the center widget a child of, well, I can't type, a child of container, and the container will have a text, a child of text, and I'll just say example text. You know what, it's going to say hello world, because we're programmers, we need to use hello world. It's one of the rules, one of the laws of programming. It's just the way it is. And I'm going to refresh this. We'll see it here in just a second. Yeah, so the reason it's doing this is because it's not wrapped in a scaffold. So I am actually going to wrap it in a scaffold here and give it a body. And now, if we refresh it again, we can see it like this. Let's move on to themes. So I mentioned in one of the first videos that Material app and Cupertino app as well, by the way, have a few different properties which we can use, which we haven't thus far. And one of them is, and there's a lot of stuff here, over here, theme. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. So what the theme does is it let us, the same way that we were using like specific text styles, or the way we were using specific colors and I was using a variable called my colors, well, we could also do that within the theme itself to allow Flutter to help us deal with that, so we don't have to pass around that magic variable, my colors, which I created. And I could do that. So I did that in the previous app, and sometimes I still prefer to do that. But of course, Flutter lets us do it a different way as well. So let's look at theme. Theme, of course, takes ThemeData. So we'll type ThemeData here. And then ThemeData has quite a lot of options. It's all of these. Of course, we're not going to go over all of them. The main ones I want you guys to notice, there are a lot of different types of colors. And this is swatch, but we're not going to go into it. There's primary color, there's accent color, hover color, focus color, all that stuff. So these are different colors we can set, which we can use for our theme. So I'm going to set, in this case, a primary color of colors.white. And I'm going to set an accent color of colors.blue, and I want kind of a light blue. I'm not sure exactly what I want, so I'm going to hover over here. I'm going to use blue 300 for now, but I think in the future I'll probably look up a hex color and choose something more specific. And then I'm also going to use, let me find it, the background color. Use a background color of colors.black there. And so what this has done is it's exactly like what we were doing before. We had the my colors variable, and we could store those colors so that we could change them all from the same place at the same time. It was just saving us some keystrokes and also making it much easier to change things, kind of future-proofing. What ThemeData does on top of that is Flutter can use these themes, these colors by default in certain places. If I use a button, for example, it's going to take one of these colors by default. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that personally I prefer to do things quite manually. I really prefer to rebuild things, and that's just my preference. So for me, using my colors of ThemeData is not that different, but for other people it can be. And let me show you guys how to use it. So if I go back into my example home here, under my text, I can give this a color, a style actually, of text style, and I can give the text style a color of theme.of context dot, and then I can choose one of the colors. And in this case, I'm going to choose primary color. And of course, when I do this, we're not going to see it because the primary color is white. Right, it's getting it from here. Similarly, within my scaffold, what I can do is I can give it a background color of theme.of context dot, and this one was background color, right? And I can, and it got a bit confused. I definitely wanted the background color, not the accent color. I'm just going to try refreshing it. I'm going to very quickly rebuild my app because it should not be doing this, and I'll probably edit this out. Okay, so I have refreshed everything. I've restarted my app. It was misbehaving for some reason. So what I've done is, instead of using background color, which I was planning on using, I'm using the scaffold background color. So as I mentioned previously, if you use the actual ThemeData, unlike using your own colors, Flutter will take some of these values and place them in the right place by default. So one of the things it's doing here is, because I used scaffold background color, it's automatically inserting this black color into my scaffold. And like this, I don't need to call theme.of.context.color. And I did want to do that because I wanted you to see that command, theme.of.context, but yeah, I guess I'll just do it like this instead. It was not accepting these. I even tried a different color and it was not happy at all. But, well, it happens. It does happen. But okay, I've saved this. And again, so that command is theme.of context in the parentheses. So you'll notice we always need to pass context. This is all kinds of information which Flutter gives us about. It has information about the device. It has information about, you know, the theme data, text data, all kinds of stuff like that. And we're using it for the first or second time over here. And then I'm just using the dot primary color. And the same way we have these colors, we also have different text themes. And there are a lot over here. So I don't know if I can find the correct one. Here there's primary text theme, accent text theme. We can set a font family, so this will change the default fonts for our entire app and all kinds of stuff like that. And I think that's quite cool. But for now, let's try a text theme. And text theme is going to take a text theme. And then text theme also gives us quite a lot of options. And all of these are different. It's like different names that we had for the my colors. I could call it colors.white. I could call it my colors primary or whatever. Well, this gives us some names we can use for our text theme. So I'm going to start using a headline 1. And for headline 1, and we can see this takes a text style because at the end of the day, it is just what's going to go here. We'll put text style, and I'm going to give it a font size of, let's say, 40, font weight of font weight.w600. So this is semi-bold. It's not fully bold, but semi. And I think that's going to be enough. One thing to note though, if I try to give it a color of ThemeData.of context.primary color, let's see what happens. So I'm going to change this in the style. I'm going to change it to my theme headline 1. So that's going to be theme.of context. So the same way we were getting the color. And I'll say dot. And this will be headline 1. It should be. I forgot text theme. Text theme dot and then headline 1. So for the text theme, it's theme.of context text theme headline 1, and you do need to memorize this command, but you'll get it quite quickly, I think. If I refresh it, let's see what happens. We got an error because I'm missing a comma somewhere. This is why I don't like being at the zoom level. I can't see the entire page at the same time. Refresh it, and notice that our color is a bit off. Our primary color should have been colors.white, but I set it right here, but it's showing as blue instead. The reason it's doing this is because I can't use the color directly within, I can't use the theme color within text theme because it just gets a bit confused. So what I'm going to do instead is just set it as colors.white over here. And notice that when I change the color here, it changes the color over here. Okay, so I think this is going to be quite a short video. I'm going to leave it at this because in the next video, we're going to start to get into something a little bit complex. And I don't want to overload this video first, but we're just helping ourselves set things up for now. And a quick review. So today we're learning about the theme data. Within the material app, the theme property, we can set theme data, which can have different colors, and there are many, many different colors. And we can use these in different places using theme.of context and the name of the color. And then we can also change the text theme, which is going to be the default theme in different places. And also we could change the text theme everywhere. But in this case, it's a specifically named one, which I can call using text theme.headline. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this video. Myself, Ovidius, I'm going to be out. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Take care, everybody.